As someone who's fascinated by the ancient world, we're sure you're just as drawn to amazing discoveries as we are, because honestly, why else would you be here? Our goal is to bring you gripping stories of incredible finds from far-off lands and long-lost times, and this video is no exception. So without further delay, let's jump into the stories and not waste a single second. Number Quince, Montreal stones. Ancient artifacts don't always surface in high-profile digs. Sometimes, school kids stumble upon them. That's what happened on Ticao Island in the Philippines when pupils from Rizal Elementary found 2 limestone tablets inscribed with Baybayin script. Now known as the Montreal or Ticao stones, the tablets are housed at the National Museum of the Philippines and remain the subject of heated academic debate. Initial assessments hinted they couldn't be older than the 17th century due to the use of the Baybayin Varama introduced by Spanish missionaries in 1621. Still, some scholars argue the stones are older. The larger tablet weighs 66 pounds and measures over 21 inches long, while the smaller is oval-shaped and more compact. In 2013, the National Museum held a special Baybayin conference to present the stones to the public. Whether colonial era or much older, the stones offer crucial insight into the history of Philippine writing systems and remain a fascinating focal point for scholars and cultural historians. Number 14. The Anetti Plateau rock art. The Anetti Plateau in Chad is a region that doesn't quite get the archaeological attention it deserves. This mountainous landscape holds an exceptional display of rock art dating as far back as 5000 BCE. Among its many carvings, a striking group of life-sized human figures etched onto vertical stone slabs at a site called Neola Doa stands out. These figures are unusually consistent in size and design, covered in geometric markings, and show exaggerated features, particularly wide thighs and buttocks, interpreted by scholars as steatopygia, a condition characterized by fatty tissue accumulation in those regions. The carvings are thought to depict ritual scenes, possibly involving dance or music. If you look closely, you'll notice ornate designs on their ears and heads, which may represent ancient hairstyles or decorative elements. Their unique visual style continues to intrigue researchers. Although they were documented years ago, they remain under active study, as experts believe there's still more to uncover about the significance and meaning behind these intricate and mysterious engravings. Number Trace Caves of Valeron. The caves of Valeron form an extraordinary cluster of 200 to 300 hand-carved caves located high above a canyon in Guia, Gran Canaria, Spain. Spread across 8 levels, the caves are linked by stairs and corridors. Historical records from the Spanish conquest era describe them as being flanked by towering structures and filled with both round and rectangular chambers carved with tools made from bone and rock. These chambers, originally created by volcanic activity and then hardened over time, offered ideal conditions for storing grain and livestock feed. Though primarily functioning as granaries, some of the larger chambers were rumored to house young women before marriage. Excavations have revealed pottery shards, ashes, and human bones, though it's unclear if they belong to residents, guardians, or someone else entirely. Declared a heritage site in 1978 and protected by royal order, the caves of Valeron are one of the few remaining examples of communal food storage in pre-colonial Canary Island society. Number 12. Cambodian crown jewels. In the summer of 2022, a trove of looted Angkorian-era crown jewels, some dating back to the 7th century, resurfaced in London. These priceless items were once in the possession of Douglas Latchford, a British antiquities smuggler who died in 2020 while awaiting trial in the U.S. In 2023, his family agreed to return the stolen collection to Cambodia. The treasure consists of 77 intricately designed gold and gem-studded items, including ceremonial crowns, ornate belts, earrings, and a solid gold bowl believed to have served Angkorian royalty during the 11th century. Many of the items match carvings seen on temple walls at Angkor Wat, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. However, the exact timeline of their theft and transport to the UK remains unclear. Cambodian officials suspect even more artifacts remain unaccounted for. Email records suggest Latchford was actively trying to sell pieces from a North London warehouse as recently as 2019, fueling hopes that additional stolen heritage might still be recovered. Number 11. Temple of Fertility of Chito. In Peru's Chito province lies a walled-off structure often referred to as the Temple of Fertility, featuring rows of upright stone phalluses. Subtlety wasn't part of the plan here. Though archaeologists and anthropologists have studied the site for over 50 years, there's still debate over whether it was a legitimate fertility shrine or a modern tourist hoax. Some experts believe the stones were repositioned more recently than they were originally shaped, and many weren't standing upright until modern arrangements, raising questions about authenticity. Still, local guides claim women once visited the site hoping to conceive. According to folklore, they would climb atop the mushroom-shaped stones, yes, stones, and be bathed in chicha, a traditional corn beer believed to aid fertility. With 86 carved phallic stones, some reaching up to 5 feet in height, it's no surprise the temple is sometimes dismissed as parody rather than sacred ground. Then again, maybe ancient cultures weren't as shy about such things as we are today. Number 10. Sila Royal Toilet in Korea. Back in 2017, archaeologists made an unusual find while working at the palace of the Sila monarchs in Gwangju. A team from the Gwangju National Research Institute of Cultural Heritage uncovered an 8th century toilet crafted from fine granite. It featured an oval-shaped opening in the floor, rectangular stones for foot placement, and a built-in culvert that directed waste away. Our current understanding of waste management systems in 8th century Korea heavily relies on this structure, thanks to how much of it remains intact. While ancient toilets had been found in South Korea before, this marked the first time a complete bathroom setup, structure, toilet, and drainage system were found in one place. Experts immediately suggested it was reserved for Silla royalty, a theory supported by the later discovery of organic remnants that offered valuable insight into the diet and health of the elite class. It's not the most glamorous branch of archaeology, but this kind of dirty work tells us how even ancient royalty handled their business. Number 9. The Swords of Arslantape. Over 4 decades ago, archaeologists at the Arslantape mound in eastern Turkey found what are now considered the oldest known swords in history. The excavation revealed 9 swords and daggers buried within the remains of a mud-brick palace. Until then, historians believe the earliest swords originated around 1600 to 1500 BCE. These blades, however, date back nearly a millennium earlier to the early Bronze Age. Marcella Frangipane and her team from Rome University led the dig in the 1980s and identified the swords as being made from an alloy of arsenic and copper. Despite their age, the weapons feature distinct blades, guards, grips, and pommels, traits familiar to modern sword design. Their relatively short length has led to debates about whether they were ceremonial items or functional tools of war. Still, given their craftsmanship and materials, they likely served both symbolic and practical goals. Arslantape may very well be the birthplace of the sword, and these finds help solidify its place in early weapon-making history. Number 8. Guntupalli Buddhist temples. The Guntupalli Buddhist temples are among the region's most important archaeological landmarks. Sometimes called the Guntupalli Caves, these structures stand as a testament to Andra's unique place in Buddhist history. Dating back to the 3rd century BCE, the temples include significant shrines, with one Chito Hall believed to originate between the 3rd and 2nd centuries BCE. The Chataya's arched ceiling echoes the designs of Bihar Sudama and Lomas Rishi caves. Carved into a sandstone hill, the caves served as dwellings for Buddhist monks. Round windows and carefully constructed channels allowed rainwater to drain efficiently. On the hilltop above, around 60 stupas, mostly circular, sit atop brick or stone platforms. A ruined mandapa with 4 broken pillars, once a gathering place for monks, still remains. Recently, a Brahmi inscription thought to date from the 1st century CE was found here, listing the names of the patrons who funded the construction. It's a powerful sight, quiet, forgotten, but deeply sacred. Number 7. Legend of the Wall Dragon. Every origin tale for Krakow features a dragon. The most widely accepted tale claims a deadly beast once lived in a cave below what is now Wawel Castle. It terrorized the locals, demanding regular offerings of livestock. One day, a clever shoemaker named Crack devised a plan. He stuffed a sheep with sulfur. After devouring it, the dragon's stomach ignited, forcing it to gulp water from the Vistula River until it exploded. Crack was hailed a hero, married the princess, became king, and named the city after himself. In a different version, the dragon appears during King Crackus's reign. The king's two sons killed the dragon using the same sulfur trick, but later quarreled over credit. One brother murdered the other, and the city was renamed in honor of the slain sibling. Today, the cave is a tourist attraction, and a seven-headed dragon sculpture by Bronisław Kromi, one of which actually breathes fire, has stood at the cave's entrance since 1972. Number 6. Timboholm Gold Hoard. Well, way back in 1904, one of the largest prehistoric gold caches ever found in Scandinavia, known as the Timboholm treasure, was unearthed near Skövde, Sweden. Weighing a total of 15 pounds, the hoard includes 2 solid gold bars and 26 spiral arm rings arranged in 2 uneven clusters with 10 and 16 rings each. The treasure dates back to the migration period of the Scandinavian Iron Age between 375 and 550 CE, a time when tribal movements reshaped Europe. While its creators remain unknown, the hoard could be attributed to Germanic, Slavic, Bulgarian, or Hungarian tribes, all of which played significant roles in shaping Eastern European culture. The treasure's exact origin is difficult to confirm, as those who discovered it didn't document it in detail. However, all items have been tested and found to be 23 to 24 karat gold. Scholars believe the rings and ingots may have been crafted from melted-down Roman coins, repurposed through an ancient gold recycling process common during that era. Number 5. Salihundam Buddhist Site. Salihundam, located on a hilltop along the southern bank of the Vamsadara River in Andhra Pradesh, is a significant Buddhist heritage site and a popular destination for travelers, only a short distance from Singapuram and Kalingapatnam. The village was once called Salipataka, meaning rice emporium in Telugu. Discovered in 1919 by Gadugu Venkata Ramamurthy, the site contains several Buddhist stupas and a monastic complex known as the Salihundam Chatya Griha. During state-led excavations, archaeologists uncovered 4 stupas, relic caskets, shrines, and sculptures of Buddhist figures, including Tara and Marichi. These remains span from the 2nd to 12th centuries CE and reflect multiple branches of Buddhism, Theravada, Mahayana, and Vajrayana. The site serves as strong evidence of a flourishing Buddhist community in ancient Kalinga and indicates the religion's spread to Southeast Asia, including Sumatra. Today, visitors are welcome to explore this peaceful site, which not only speaks to a deep spiritual history, but also offers sweeping views of its natural surroundings. Now let's move to number 4. Bear Gulch Rock Art. Bear Gulch in central Montana holds over 4,000 petroglyphs and pictographs, some dating back more than 1,000 years, forming the largest known collection of Plains Indian rock art, etched along a 100-foot cliff face. The drawings include detailed scenes of daily life, warriors with clubs and shields, animals like elk and bison, and other symbolic figures. But the site also features graffiti left by 19th century European settlers, whose names and initials are scratched into the same rock surface. This blending of timelines makes Bear Gulch uniquely valuable. Although long known to locals, the site didn't gain archaeological attention until a team visited in 1989. Subsequent visits in 2005 and 2007 revealed even more. In 2005, researchers documented every visible image, including layers of overlapping figures rendered in deep reds, blacks, and ochres. In 2007, excavation at the cliff base turned up ancient fire pits and tools, plus bison vertebrae from a meal eaten centuries ago. The site continues to reveal more with each visit. Number 3. Porta Maggiore Basilica. This is an underground structure found in Rome in 1917 near the Porta Maggiore gate and is linked to the Neo-Pythagorean movement, a mystical Greco-Roman school of thought inspired by Pythagoras and Plato. This was their secretive sanctuary, a place for teaching and worship. Dated to the 1st century BCE, the basilica lies 40 feet beneath street level and was built by the affluent Statilius family. It features 3 naves separated by 6 stone pillars, with each nave adorned in stucco reliefs portraying centaurs, griffins, soldiers, and mythic heroes like Orpheus, Paris, and Hercules. Titus Statilius Taurus, the family patriarch, was later accused by the Senate of engaging in sorcery and magical practices. He denied the charges but eventually took his own life in 53 CE. After years of restoration, the site finally opened to limited public visits in 2015. Restoration efforts included sealing the entire basilica within a protective concrete shell and installing air filtration systems to manage underground radon gas exposure. Number 2. Odiham Castle. Local legend claims that King John of England stayed at Odiham Castle the night before signing the Magna Carta in 1215. There's no evidence to support that, but like many old stories, it persists. Regardless, Odiham Castle, located in North Warnborough, Hampshire, dates back to the early 13th century and was personally commissioned by the king. It's one of only 3 castles he ordered to be built during his reign, an unusually small number for a medieval monarch. Not long after completion, the castle was besieged by French forces in 1216, but withstood the attack. Over the years, it hosted monarchs, nobles, and even the entire English Parliament for a short time. By the mid-14th century, royal interest in Odiham had waned. The castle later served as a hunting lodge before eventually falling into ruin by the early 1600s. Today, only partial walls and foundations remain, but its historical weight and connection to England's turbulent medieval era are undeniable. What do you think about it? Let us know. Number 1. The Vasa shipwreck. The launch of the Vasa in August 1628 was a moment of pride for Sweden's King Gustavus Adolphus. The massive warship was to be the flagship of his fleet and a game-changer in the war against the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. But the celebration was short-lived. The ship capsized just 20 minutes after leaving Stockholm's harbor, sinking in full view of the large crowd that had come to see it off. It was a national embarrassment. When the ship was raised in 1961, further analysis suggested the king himself was to blame. His demand for 64 bronze cannons made the gun deck too heavy, and rushing the shipbuilders led to structural compromises. Despite the disastrous voyage, over 95% of the Vasa's original wood survived, and it remains the only fully intact 17th-century ship ever recovered. What began as a royal failure is now one of Sweden's most significant archaeological finds, offering an unparalleled glimpse into the naval engineering and ego of the era. If you've enjoyed watching this video, be sure to like it, share it, and subscribe. Thanks for hanging with us, and we'll see you soon in the next one.